everyone. It is Saturday, December 21st, and it is our 21st chocolate advent calendar. So let's get right to it. Right down here completes the second to bottom row. We have the white chocolate ball today. Right, the chocolate ball right there. This one has a creamy filling in it with milk chocolate. Right, that's it for day 21. Hey friends, welcome to day 21 of Vlogmas. It is Saturday, December 21st, and today we're actually gonna see Mama J, because she's gonna be cooking something that's one of my favorites, especially during this time of year. If you're a Filipino, it's like a comfort food or a comfort soup. But we're gonna see how Mama J's makes her famous Arroz Caldo. By the way, for reference, Mama J is a bit shy, so it's mostly gonna be her hands and me talking, so. But she does make several cameos here and there on the channel as it is anyway, so we'll appreciate her presence by her hands. Really quick, Mama J, how long have you been cooking this Arroz Caldo?
Over 40 years now.
40 years? So who taught you how to cook it?
I learned it from my grandmother
Anybody else?
and a friend of mine from work way back in the Philippines.
So you perfected this recipe over the years.
Yes, I guess so.
And so that's why it's called Mama J's famous Arroz Caldo.
You said it.
It has to be good,
So maybe.
which is why we're sharing the recipe to the world. Rice. You need rice soaked in water, garlic, ginger, and onion, and some ground pepper. And for extra rice as well, a whole thing of this cooked sticky rice. Make sure you soak and wash your rice. Ginger, you could add as much as you want to make it more flavorful, since garlic has a really good taste. I love ginger. Mama J and I love ginger. So I would say this is about maybe half a cup sliced chopped ginger. Ingredient number 2, 4 cloves of minced garlic. You don't need a lot for this one, since garlic is pretty much like a potent ingredient. It's still gonna be tasty. Now for the onion, you could use either white or yellow. You just gotta slice them up, kind of a rough slice, because you're gonna cook them down anyways. Now the next part of the Arroz Caldo that you'll need to prepare is the chicken. You could use any part of the chicken, the drum, the wing, the thigh, the breast, anything to get some flavor. You'll also need some chicken broth as well. Now that our ingredients are prepped, we are gonna start cooking to make the Arroz Caldo. You're gonna need a large pot with a drizzle of olive oil, toss in the garlic, after maybe 2-3 minutes, add the onions, cook that down until they're, well, translucent. You want to make sure your fire is low to medium so that you're not burning any of the ingredients. Once the onions have cooked down, you could add the ginger. Starting to smell really good around the house right now. Now you're gonna saute the chicken for just a bit, just to get enough browning and color on the outside. And then once that's done, it'll pretty much cook the rest of the way once you add the rice in the water. Now the next ingredient is kind of a particular one for Asian countries, but you're gonna need a little bit of fish sauce. The one we use is this kind right here. You're just gonna need like a few dashes of this just to give it some flavor. And it's salty, so you don't need to add extra salt to your arroz caldo. If you don't want to use fish sauce, straight up salt is fine too. And you want to keep stirring it as you're cooking so that it doesn't stick to your pan. Next, you're going to remove the water from the rice that you've been washing. You're going to put that aside because we're going to use that water for later. Now, the type of rice we're using for this one is the short grain sticky rice, which gives it a nice texture. Almost like porridge-like once you finish it off. Saute the rice with all the ingredients. The extra sticky rice is optional. You could just use the plain uncooked short grain rice for the whole thing. Right. Once you got everything all nice and sauteed and cooked down, you're gonna add 1 quart, so it's literally 1 box of chicken stock. If you're gonna use cans, probably like 2 cans of chicken stock. Now put the fire high, boil the broth, and then it'll cook the rice. If you want to make a chickenless version of it, you totally can. Omit the chicken and just use vegetable broth for the rice. So you could totally make it vegetarian too. Going off the timer of a rice cooker, 20 to 30 minutes, but just keep an eye on it until you see that the rice is ready. And with cooking, there's really no exact measurements, unlike baking where you have to be precise. So I would say flavor it to taste. It's delicious. But literally, this is like my favorite time of year because Mama J always makes it, and I have like 3-4 bowls in one sitting because it's so good. Because arroz caldo is like literally a comfort food for any time of year, but especially for the holidays where it's cold, it kind of warms you up. You get that nice warm feeling. So yeah. Once the soup is boiling, put the heat down to medium to let it simmer and cook the rice. Now this is where we add some extra water in there. If you see that the water is evaporating, the rice water comes in handy for that. The hardest part of any cooking, especially when it's your favorite food, is the waiting. So now we wait. I'm kind of hungry now. I saved my appetite just for this. You gotta stir it every once in a while so that the rice chicken, doesn't stick to the pan. I'm Mama J's little helper today. Now a good indication to know when your chicken is fully cooked is to check when the rice is fully cooked, which pretty much means the dish is done. Now you could add saffron, which is totally optional to add a touch of color. But we're almost there. The soup is actually thickening up just a little bit, so that's what you want in consistency. How's it taste? It's been roughly about 20 minutes in terms of cooking time, but overall it shouldn't take no more than an hour to fully cook the whole thing from prepping the ingredients to actual finish. But it looks fantastic because we're just about there in terms of it being done. So a key to not letting the soup totally evaporate is to let the lid of the pot, put it ajar just slightly so that way it can kind of cool normally but not evaporate the soup. Some lids don't have that little kind of like a steam spout on the top, kind of like this one right here, like a steam spout. So if yours doesn't have that, just keep the lid ajar just a little bit. But then at that point, you could turn off the flame too. Once you let the soup sit for a bit, just to cool down, it'll kind of thicken up almost like a porridge consistency, and that's what you want it to be like. Or I'm ready with my bowl. Okay, here we are. The soup is completely done. It smells wonderful. You could tell right here. Now you could garnish this with some chopped green onions, hard-boiled egg, fried tofu, some crispy garlic, and then if you want, you could have like extra fish sauce, like I have here on a little serving platter, to give it more like of a slightly salty taste. But if you want to go really Filipino, add some calamansi juice. If you don't have calamansi juice, lemon juice would be great as well with the fish sauce, and it gives it like a really round flavor. So here we go. Let's have some arroz caldo. Now, if you don't have fish sauce, I know some people can be kind of put off with the flavor of fish sauce. Soy sauce can also be used in place of that. When I say mom's cooking is always the best, yeah, my mama's cooking is the best. And lastly, cooking. When you want it to taste good, you cook it with love. Main ingredient. Mama J cooked it with love, so it's perfect. Alright friends, we'll call it here for day 21 of Vlogmas. Thank you so much for joining me and Mama J and cooking her famous arroz caldo. Hopefully you get to try it as well one day. It's perfect for any kind of weather. But in the meantime, I'm going to finish my bowl of soup and get me a second one. And who knows, come back tomorrow and we'll get ourselves into more shenanigans, and who knows what that will be, so you just have to come back. If you missed any of the episodes, I'll put the playlist on this side here, or maybe it's on this side, whichever side it is. Check it out, rewatch it, and have fun. Until then, this is where we part ways. I will see you all tomorrow. Take care.